County.
This year we have over 23 Oakland County schools participating. We are thrilled to be joined by Berkley High School, Norup Middle School, Birmingham Groves High School, Birmingham Seaholm High School,
Bloomfield Hills Lasser High School, Farmington High School, Hazel Park High School, Hillel Day School,
Novi High School, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Our Lady of Refuge School,
Royal Oak Dondero High School, Troy Athens High School, Troy High School,
Lake Central High School, and Lake Western High School, Abbott Middle School, Orchard Lake Middle School, Dorothy, Ely, and Green, Gretschko, Roosevelt, and Scotch Elementary Schools.
We are especially thankful for the beautifully decorated people that have been sent to us from these various schools. They've been used to build our astonishing wall friend by friend. Feel free to read these thoughts and opinions that have been written as you pass by this beautifully decorated wall.
At this time, we would like to acknowledge all the students who have worked to plan every aspect of these events, from the decorations to the outreach to schools, from the multi-school chat to the all-school sing-along.
At every step of the way, we felt supported and nurtured by the Adult Steering Committee and enjoyed working in hand with them. We would like to especially thank Mr. Steve Wasco, Mrs. Audrey Lester, Mrs. Janet McBurney, Mrs. Molly Marshall, and Mrs. Mervette Ishmael.
For United We Walk 2000, the 3 adult co-chairs are Ms. Jeddy Hood, Ms. Dorothy Friedl, and Mr. Stuart Brickner.
We'd like you to refer to the full list of adult committee members that we have printed in our written material, along with student leadership.
And we'd like to thank the dozens of businesses, civic organizations, churches and temples, school districts, cities and townships who have provided financial or material support to our program. As a group, all these individuals have helped build the dream, friend by friend. We would also like to thank our breakfast sponsors, Big Daddy's, Einstein Bagels, Great Harvest Bread, Kroger, Panera Bread, Shenandoah Country Club, and Strawberry Hills.
You will hear in word and song today the visions of many of our students. One student who has already shared the vision with all of us is West Bloomfield High School sophomore Priyan Wirapulli, whose original artwork of Dr. King and civil rights marchers has graced every copy of our materials, including the front cover of our program. Priyan, would you please step forward and take a bow?
Our 2-day United We Walk celebration actually began 15 hours ago when the West Bloomfield Clergy Association held a warm and spiritual candlelight vigil that set the tone and lit the way for today's program and walk.
The West Bloomfield Clergy Association is guided by President Reverend David Robertson. Please stand. Thank you. He's joined on stage by other members of the clergy from the greater West Bloomfield area. We would like all of the clergy to stand as well. Thank you.
We would also like to recognize members of the Planning Committee and other dignitaries seated on stage. Alan Edelberg, who is a township trustee. Police Chief Ronald Cronin.
Committee and representing Mel Farr, who once again donated the United We Walk buttons. Charlene Mitchell Rogers, member of the publicity. County Commissioner Shelley Goodman Tubb. And State Representative Mark Shulman. We would also like to thank the West Bloomfield High School Jazz Band under the direction of Mr. Essenfeld for the lovely music during breakfast. Now we will continue the program with one of United We Walk's biggest supporters, West Bloomfield School District Superintendent Dr. Seymour Grechko, who has been a gracious host for the past 6
years. In a little while, all of us will walk in commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King, and historically, many people during the Civil Rights Movement were willing to march and go to jail for justice and equality. Dr. King, in 1959 and 1960, wrote a series of essays explaining the nonviolent movement. And I'd like to welcome you this morning with words from one of those essays that he wrote in Christmas of 1959. This Christmas, I remember the little black children of Grenada, Mississippi, beaten by grown men as they walked to school. I remember a baby attacked by rats in a Chicago slum. I remember a young black man murdered by a gang in Cicero, Illinois, where he was looking for a job, and a white minister in Georgia forced out of his sacred office because he spoke for human dignity. I remember 2 farm workers in Mississippi risking their lives and their livelihood to march out of the cotton fields and vote for freedom and democracy. There is no easy way to create a world where men and women can live together, where each has his own job and house, and where all children receive as much education as their minds can absorb. But if such a world is created in our lifetime, it will be done in the United States by blacks and white people of goodwill. It will be accomplished by persons who have the courage to put an end to suffering by willingly suffering themselves rather than inflict suffering upon others. It will be done by rejecting the racism, materialism, and violence that has characterized Western civilization, and especially by working toward a world of brotherhood, cooperation, and peace. With these words, I welcome you here this morning.
We will now hear from Township Supervisor Ms. Jeddy Hood, who is single-handedly responsible for shutting down Orchard Lake Road for this event.
If I get the high sign from Janet, just let me know. We have a very special guest that is in the building but has not yet found their way to the auditorium, so as soon as that person, I get the high sign that they're here, I will introduce them. Her. Last night at the candlelight vigil here in the atrium, I was told I was to make a few remarks today. Thank you very much for the warning, Stuart. It has been a sleepless night. Unless we were there living the nightmare of bigotry and segregation, we cannot really know the pain, the fear, or the hopelessness. What we do today is a sham, a well-choreographed play, unless we commit to continuing the talk and repeating the walk on a daily basis with our neighbors. It is but a feeble gesture to bundle up and walk a mile in the cold today if we don't remember the many little girls and boys without shoes, dressed in far less comfort and style as we are today, who did have to walk into that white classroom and sit down on that white person's seat on the bus. Let's really make the effort this year to go that extra mile, towards the dream. Let's not forget that the African Americans among us aren't the only ones suffering injustice. Our Jewish, Chaldean, Indian, Oriental, Italian, Irish, and the list goes on, have all suffered similar discrimination. I truly believe that West Bloomfield can be an example to other communities because we are at least trying. We are listening, and we accept that we are not yet perfect. Don't stop with the walk today. Walk across that classroom or the office tomorrow and the days thereafter and share what is in your heart today. Then I wonder how many miles we will have walked together by this time next year. Thank you. I've gotten the high sign. We are really, really privileged and excited to have a surprise guest with us today. We have State Attorney General Jennifer Granholm. Would you come up? And then I'll be right beside you.
No, I wasn't expecting to speak. I just came from the Birmingham Bloomfield Task Force on Diversity, and they equally, like you, had a lot of people there. And this is so remarkable that you're using this as a day on and not a day off. God bless you. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to call forward our first General Chairperson, Hertha Woodruff, and Assistant General Chairperson, Beth Borson, from the 1995 United We Walk event.
Thank you very much, Jeddy. On behalf of the United We Walk Planning Committee, we would like to take a few moments to talk about our friend Cheryl Johnson. In 1995, Cheryl and Denise Kelly served as our first Walk Committee co-chairs. Through Cheryl's help and her husband, Chris Johnson, we were able to make our first walk from Orchard Lake Middle School to the high school a success. It was successful because Chris allowed us to use GM's shuttle vans, and it was under Cheryl's leadership.
Yesterday, Cheryl Johnson passed away after a long battle with cancer. Cheryl served in many capacities through the years in the West Bloomfield School District. At Ely Elementary School and Abbott Middle School, she orchestrated several diversity programs. She truly stood for what this event is all about. We will certainly miss her. Please join us in a moment of silence as we reflect on her wonderful life. Thank you.
We will now listen to the student keynote speakers, who are the winners of our oratory contest. Their wonderful speeches helped realize how we can build the dream starting with friends. Our first speaker is China Reavers from Abbott Middle School. China will be followed by Amrixing Kelsa from Orchard Lake Middle School. After Amrixing, we will hear from Sarah Swistak representing West Bloomfield High School.
I have a dream. These famous words were spoken by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What was his dream? His dream was that all people could come together in a circle of friendship and live together peacefully. From mountaintop to valley low, he wanted his dream to touch and grow. This man had a dream, and we are all gathered here today because of it. I've had a dream. In fact, I've had a few. I bet all of you have had a dream at one time or another. Now, we all want our dreams to grow, but how? We'll probably need a little help, so who better to ask than your friends? That is what we are called to do today. Gather our friends and build the dream. Make new friends, have your friends make friends, and build the dream. Take Dr. King's dream, make it your own, then help it grow. As we head out today, keep in mind the reason we gathered here. If you remember what others in the past did so that things could be the way they are today, make a difference so that things will be even better for those in the future. Take the time to listen to the cries of those in need. Look around and see what you can do for those who need a helping hand. Take Dr. King's dream, make it your own, then help it grow. Thank you.
My name is Amrik Singh Khalsa, and I'm from Orchard Lake Middle School. On August 28, 1963, in Washington, D.C., Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we have the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. So for us, the question is, what is the American dream? Our founding fathers gave us this creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. So equality is what Mr. King dreamed of. Do you think his dream has come true? I think it has to a certain extent. We are not segregated like we were. I, as an American Sikh, am able to have friends of different colors and backgrounds. Women have more rights than they did. Does this mean we have removed injustice? Every day, the media is giving us examples of prejudice. What do we need to do to build Mr. King's dream? We need to work friend by friend. This can be done in 2 steps. We first need to work on correcting ourselves by being nice to everybody. We should not make fun of people. Instead, we can try to understand their ways. We shouldn't be afraid to stick up for them. If I was making fun of someone who acts differently, then you can stop me from hurting his or her feelings or even starting a quarrel. Once we've completed this step, we can go on to the next. That is, to constructively change others. When you saw me making fun of someone and stopped me, take the time to explain to me why he or she does things differently. We can encourage and persuade others to stop making fun of people who may be different in any way. If each one of us does this, we will be closer to our goal. Building the dream, friend by friend, Martin Luther King Jr. rejected violence, was able to improve society, and marched us toward a just and peaceful community. You and I need to continue this too, friend by friend. This will bring peace, not only in our community, but eventually in the whole world. Pope Paul VI said, if you want peace, work for justice. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Swistak, and I'm representing West Bloomfield High School. Barbara Cage, a small-town poet, once wrote, "The path to a dream is paved with sacrifices and lined with determination. And though it has many stumbling blocks along the way and may go in more than one direction, it is marked with faith. It is traveled by belief and courage, persistence and hard work. It is conquered with a willingness to face challenges and take chances, to fail and try again and again. Along the way, you may have to confront doubts, setbacks, and unfairness, But when the path comes to an end, you will find that there is no greater joy than making your dream come true. Decades later, we have yet to accomplish Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. People and organizations around the world have been trying to make waves in the pond of unity, but unfortunately have made nothing more than ripples. I believe that the first step to King's dream is found within each of us. Deep within our hearts, each of us holds the key to make a difference, the key to make waves. Every movement, every breath of speech, every thought or idea is but a tiny pebble in our pond. Tiny pebbles which alone do not carry much of an impact, but when thrown in together form a succession of ripples, maybe even a big ripple, helping our fingers inch even closer to the brass ring of making a wave and achieving unity. There isn't one droplet of water that's not affected by the stones. Some are unwillingly moved, others are gladly responsive to the new visitor. Each movement has an effect on the whole. Having been said, this speech will affect each member of this audience. Maybe not in the way it was intended, but if it touched you, you may go home and call your best friend, who will call her sister, who will call her mom, who will spread the news, thus creating a ripple in society. With open ears and open hearts, and friends by our side, ripple by ripple, we will achieve equality and unity. And then, may we bask in the glory of the beautiful masterpiece we created of our little pond and of one man's dream. Thank you.
Coming forth, we have a song written by one of West Bloomfield High School's very own students. The words and the meaning in this song have become so inspirational to all of us. The unity that this song encompasses encourages us all to look beyond our differences and realize that we are more alike than different. I now present to you Candace Johnson, along with the West Bloomfield High School Combined Choir singing We Are One. Under the direction of Tim Shaner.
You need me, we are one. I am Stuart Brickner, adult co-chair. I have the honor and privilege of introducing our keynote speaker, former Michigan Supreme Court Chief Justice Conrad Mallett Jr. He is a resident of West Bloomfield. He is currently the General Counsel for the Detroit Medical Center and also a Senior Vice President. Justice Mallett, please join us.
When Stuart called me and asked me to do this, I said yes, but I thought then that Stuart was my friend. Next time when we have this program, we will end with Candace. Candace surely is a very hard act to follow. Let me acknowledge the presence of the West Bloomfield clergy, superintendent of schools, our township supervisor, county commissioner, and our attorney general, Jennifer Granholm. I'm Conrad Mallett Jr. and a resident for 5 years of West Bloomfield and very honored to be here with you this morning. My wife Barbara and my children Alex and Kristen are with me today, and we are all happy to spend part of our Dr. Martin Luther King holiday with you. I wonder what we are to make of the fact that the man whose life we celebrate has recently been offered up by the United States Conference of Bishops for sainthood. I looked up the definition of saint in the Random House Dictionary, and there it was defined as any certain person of exceptional holiness of life, formally recognized by the Christian Church as having attained an exalted position in heaven and as being entitled to veneration, therefore, on earth. I have to admit that the idea of sainthood for Dr. King pleased me and troubled me at the same time. I have come to know Dr. King like you, admittedly through Dr. King's speeches, the writings that I have read, obviously that he wrote, and the video clips that I have seen. And through those mediums, I have always thought Dr. King accessible. I've always thought of him as a great man of exceptional courage who had done ordinary things that changed the world in which you and I live. Some of the things he did, in fact, I participated in. My mother, who is in town and who wanted to be here with us today, was one of the principal organizers of Dr. King's 1963 march down Woodward Avenue in the city of Detroit. This is something that all of us in southeastern Michigan can be proud of. It was here in Detroit that Dr. King first gave the I Have a Dream speech, not in Washington, D.C., but here with us. I marched with my mother and my father and my sisters that day. You today, with your family and mine, are following in the footsteps of Dr. King. I am hopeful that sainthood will not take Dr. King from us and convince some, particularly those who are not here, that the things he did cannot be done again and cannot be done by ordinary men and women. Perhaps he is a saint, and perhaps the definition of a saint is a person whose courage, determination, quality of life made the execution of ordinary tasks great, wonderful, and important. Dr. King was an extraordinary man whose presence on earth made the world a better place. He made the ordinary great, but remember this, not impossible. And that is my point. The things he did were important, great, necessary, yet capable of duplication. Capable of duplication, at least in kind, if not in consequence. I am grateful on a very real level that Dr. King has been offered sainthood. In the words of Albert Einstein, it is a welcome symptom in an age which is commonly denounced as materialistic, that it makes heroes of men whose goals lie wholly in the intellectual and moral sphere. This proves that knowledge and justice are ranked above wealth and power by a large section of the human race. I want to talk briefly today about what we can do in furtherance of Dr. King's legacy. We have reached a point, as some of your colleagues have said, in our country's history where the legal barriers separating one from the other, us from each other, have been torn down. The impediments that slow our human progress are now more subtle and the more difficult to confront. Progress for each group remains uneven. The pathology of poverty is as insidious as the sickness of racism. The absence of a single set of answers continues to frustrate us all. It is, however, the absence of a single set of answers that gives each one of us an opportunity on this day and every day to play a major role in the country's forward progress. It is my thesis that small but meaningful gestures will uplift the spirit, improve the human condition, and make better the society in which we live. According to Muhammad, every good act is charity. Your smiling in your brother's face is charity. An exhortation of your fellow man to virtuous deeds is equal to the giving of money. Your putting a wanderer on the right road is charity. Your assisting the blind is charity. Your giving water to the thirsty is charity. A man's wealth in the hereafter is the good he does in the world to his fellow man. These acts, while small in description, can have a life-changing impact on the receiver. Your small contribution to another person's struggle for dignity may indeed be the contribution that completes that person's phase of human growth, that allows that person to fully realize her sense of self. If she is made strong by your kindness, then when called upon to make a similar gesture, her store will be full and she will be anxious to act in a charitable manner. In a real way, this is what Dr. King stands for. He believed in charity, in the power of love to transform, and not just transform the object of the loving gesture, but transform as well its maker. This is the power of giving. The person most sure to be benefited by the gift is the giver. Dr. King's life then asks us all to answer the question, if giving is an act that carries always a dual positive, then why do we hesitate? Fear, selfishness, mistrust are all singularly consequential. Prevented from making small gestures that can change lives, we fail to change our own. Bedeviled by race, confounded by poverty, we gather this day to ask ourselves, are we as a people capable of making the societal changes that will make our differences less important and poverty less debilitating? Dr. King's answer then and now would be yes. I think he might have at various times in his life gathered strength from the children like you who often marched with him. I think he gathered strength from the many observations he made of countless acts of charity. I think he was renewed by the charity shown him when he was fed by people that he did not know and given a place to sleep by persons to whom he was not related. My own belief is that small gestures make a difference even in the life of a saint. We all can make these gestures, and we can experience the healing power of charity. Courteous behavior, patience with your fellows, kindness to strangers are all acts within our singular humanity. Collectively, they can change an entire community's experience. Dr. King gave his life, perhaps to guarantee that small acts of love, kindness, and toleration will make a difference. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Thank you all for coming.
Wow, that was quite inspirational. Let's give another round of applause. It became our tradition to begin the walk with West Bloomfield students speaking in various languages. In addition to our students, we will also have various schools giving out their message. Would you guys step forward?
નમસ્તે, મારું નામ ભાવિશા ભલસોદ છે. સ્વાગતમ to United We Walk. તમારો ઉપકાર અમારી સાથે ચાલવામાં. શાંતિથી ચાલો. Hello, my name is Bhavisha Balsad. Welcome to United We Walk. Thank you for walking with us and walk in peace. I spoke in Gujarati.
صباح الخير، أنا اسمي أنجلو بنو، أشكركم لاشتراك المسيرة، امشوا بالسلام. Good morning, my name is Angelo Bino. Thank you for gathering greatly to United We Walk. Walk in peace. I spoke in Arabic.
Добрый день, моє ім'я є Сер Свистак. Ідемо разом. Good morning. My name is Sarah Swistak. United We Walk. I spoke in Ukrainian.
Good morning. My name is Eric Akers. I'm from Berkley High School. United We Walk is important to me because dream must go on.
בוקר טוב, קוראים לי אליאנה טרייסון. ברוכים הבאים ליחד אנחנו צועדים. תודה שבאתם לצעוד איתנו. תצעדו בשלום. Good morning, my name is Eliana Trayson. Welcome to United We Walk. Thank you for coming to walk with us. Walk in peace. I spoke Hebrew.
Доброе утро всем тем, кто собрался сегодня в этом зале. Меня зовут Аня Вихарева, и я из России. Добро пожаловать на United We Walk. Идите с миром и будьте счастливы. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anya Vikhareva, and I'm from Russia. Welcome to United We Walk. Thank you so much for walking with us and supporting us. Walk in peace and be happy. Thank you.
Ayubowan, mage nama Priyan Virapuli. Nidahasa ada samanata heta. Welcome to United We Walk. My name is Priyan Virapuli. Peace today, equality tomorrow.
Good morning, I'm Amanda Streletsky.
And I'm Ami Joshi. As a student of Lake Western, our school supports diversity, and we feel that it is necessary to recognize all the different ethnic groups, races, and cultures that make us united as one.
We also believe that it is important to be accepting, open-minded, and to unify with all people, to break down the injustices that we feel in our community. By doing this, we can celebrate our differences as well as our similarities, building our dream friend by friend.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Hartland, and this is Christina Kennedy. We are both students from Novi High School. We're here today because our school and community aren't as involved in recognizing Martin Luther King Day.
We believe that his life was important, and we wanted to be here to celebrate it with all of you. We thank West Bloomfield for inviting us. Have a good day.
As a finale to our program, we will have Abbott Middle School singing Hands United in Peace. This song was performed last year, and we were so moved by this song and its message that we asked Abbott to sing it again. They will be performing under the direction of John Dyerline.
faces, sharing many different views.
To friends and neighbors and begin to unify. For together we have worked to build a better land. We must learn to take each hour and hold it in our hands, united in peace, hands united in hope. Look at these hands now joined together. Suddenly love begins to grow. Our human rainbow never ending, from sea to shining sea. Hands united in freedom, hands united in peace, hands united in peace, hands united in hope. Look at these hands now joined together. Suddenly love begins to grow. Our human rainbow never ending, from sea to shining sea. Hands united in freedom, hands united in
Thank you. I would now like to take this opportunity to invite the other school singers to join us on stage for an encore of that song.
Why we come in the front though? Why we come in the front? Where my man down
We're a world of many colors. We're a world of many hues. We're a world of many faces, sharing many different views.
Because I'm cool like that. Oh, yeah. That's why they call me Tupac. That's why they call me Tupac. Yeah. What's up? And that's why they call me Tupac.
Gentlemen, it's been real.